Good day. My name is Dr. Peter Morey, and I think you will agree that we human beings are living in a time that is probably the most challenging in all of human history on a global basis. And I think you'll also agree that every human being wants to make a difference in the world. He wants his life or her life to have meaning. They want to be happy, and they want to make a difference. I wrote a book called Becoming, which addresses these issues using a series of short stories that are all connected, but with various themes, such as bullying and killing and anger and hate and love. And now I'm going to read an excerpt from my book to give you a sample of the type of material that's in the book and how it's presented. And the section I'm going to read is a short page called The Price of Killing. The Price of Killing. And it's about a soldier who's returned from the war, and it easily demonstrates what happens to all our soldiers who fight for our freedoms, no matter where. Killing is an act that changes you forever. The price of killing. The nurse drew up a sedative and approached the young soldier in his bed at the military hospital. He had been screaming in his sleep. His young face, scarred by the loss of innocence, his eyes wild with fear and trembling and unimaginable pain, were windows to a soul that had lost its way. His lips trembled. He tried to utter words he could not speak. He was a soldier coming back from the war. The wounds he carried were not those of lost limbs, but the loss of his soul. Unfortunately for him, the war he fought had followed him home and now was being waged on a new battlefield, one that only he could see. The weapons he needed to win were different weapons. He had none, and he did not know where to find them. Hate had been a useful weapon over there. It served him well. But now the fire of hate was self-hate, and it terrified him. Once an idealist, he had believed in his country, and now he felt his country's cause was unjust. He felt lied to, betrayed. He was ashamed of what his country had made him become. He felt alone, isolated, and no longer knew who he was. He had no future and was chained to a past that he could not forget. He wanted to run away, but he had nowhere to run to, since he could not run away from himself. He had killed others. Some of them were younger than his baby brother. And every time he saw his baby brother, it reminded him of what he had done. He wanted to kill himself. He could not. He was too much of a coward. He did not belong here. He did not belong anywhere. The nurse bared his arm and gave him his sedative. She held his head in her arms and sang him a lullaby. Tears welled up in his eyes and his body convulsed with unspeakable demons trapped inside. He sobbed uncontrollably. She rocked him like a baby, and she sang. Eventually, he slept. I hope you enjoy that excerpt, and I will be reading some more excerpts in future promotional. But the book is available at Amazon.com and Author House and all major bookstores. And the title of the book is Becoming. And if you read it, I will guarantee you it will be transformative. The purpose of the book is to change the way you see yourself and the way you see the world so that you will become more positive and more in control and more in sync with nature and the world around you. Thank you very much for listening to this video, and God bless.